unfortunately, as with most things, like Kingdom Hearts and Tales, they tend to mute the start of my stream, which is fine, I get it. Like in archive. The issue is I don't know when they unmute it. So like as I'm giving the intro to the stream and what we're going to be doing, like on the archives that I post on YouTube, I have to cut all that out. And usually it starts already in gameplay. Like, I think that they should give it like a minute-long buffer, because then that'd be easier to time. Anyway, so hello everyone, Enes20, and welcome to Tales of Berseria New Game Plus. So, when did I last play Tales of Berseria? It's been a long time. I want to say at least a year, but probably more, so let's check. I think that the save file has a date on it. Holy shit. Right before my birthday back in 2019, so it's been over 2 years since I last played this game. And you're probably wondering, why? Did I not like it? This game is the stark contrast to Zestiria. Zestiria was like, it was okay, but ultimately I left it feeling like, I've played better. Disappointed I was in Zestiria. This one though, this one blew my mind. It's my second favorite Tales game of all time. The only one I like more than it is Tales of the Abyss. And I just absolutely love this game a ton. And that's actually why I haven't played it in 2 years. It's a similar situation to Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where after I beat them both respectively, I was like, I just don't want to play it again. And then like weeks later, months later, whatever, I played them again. Because they were that much fun. It's just emotionally draining, especially this one. But with Tales of Arise out, I told myself that I was playing a different game on PS4. I'm like, once I 100% this, I'll get Tales of Arise, and I did. But I'm like, nah, I haven't finished business. I can't. So that's why we're here with Tales of Berseria. So I'm gonna play through it all again, New Game Plus it, and then once I beat it again, then I'll play Tales of Arise. I'm very excited to play Tales of Arise. It looks cool. Of course, we gotta get started first, so let's do that. I should probably lower this so it doesn't get captured on my mic. Yeah, I know a bunch of people already have Arise, and I'm avoiding spoilers, and also it's not like they're being ignorant about it. I've seen someone post like 30-second clips of fights, but like I haven't watched it. So here we go. So my last save. I have another save at level 70. I don't know why I have that save. It's on Norman Island. I'm not entirely sure why it exists. But given that this one is 6 levels higher than that one, I'm like, you know what? It's probably unimportant. 71 hours. I last played, it was at 11 a.m. So about like an hour ago. An hour ago, 2 years ago is when I stopped playing this game. Oh boy, I am not ready. But also I am, so. There's the grade shop. Yes. 3717. That's a lot of grade. Definitely felt like a lot. Increases maximum HP by 1,000. Halves the amount of gold required to enhance equipment. Oh, that sounds nice. Doubles the amount of grade. That sounds really nice. Double, triple experience. Double gold. Sounds good. And you can stack it with this to get up to 6, right? It's interesting that the experience multipliers have gotten smaller with each game. They used to be, I think it was ×2 and ×10. I think it was. I think Zestiria was also like that. I think it was ×2 and ×5? I could be wrong. Then again, in Zestiria, EXP meant nothing. Leveling up meant nothing in that game. Carryover titles. Equipment proficiency. Inherit all Ventite. The potentites that unlock game mechanics. Skill sweep equipment. wow, they have a specific one for the herb enhancements. That's interesting. So for those who don't know, herbs are little plant items that permanently increase the stats of your characters. And generally, as far as I'm aware, I don't think they've ever been carried over before. Like when you carry over, well, you can't carry over stats. But that's interesting that they actually have one for that. That's cool. Character changer. Regenerates 50% of blast gauge used for switch blasts, essentially having the cost for using them. I don't understand what that means. It's been too long. Level up bonus. Adds level up bonuses to all titles. Some stat increases may be reduced, but they will not go below 0. Doubles the chance of encountering wandering enemies. I don't remember what that is. Like random encounters or the specific savage enemies that exist in areas. Alright, I know I have to pick something. So we're gonna get started. I'm just having a hard time because there's a lot. Inherit library data other than your play record. It has nothing, I don't see. So you're gonna get the titles. Shops. Sure. Let's get the double experience. I definitely want to half price the enhancing. I remember that as I got towards the end of the game, that became harder to keep up with. Especially in Berseria was the same way. As you enhance the stuff, it costs more. Inherit the count of art uses? I don't know why I would want that, but sure. I mean, it's cheap. I can carry over... Yeah, you know, I'll carry over these. They allow me mechanics that are otherwise locked. Carry over to the library. I assume that counts, like the synopsis? It's not like I ever get lost in this game. It directs you exactly where you need to go, so sure. It doesn't cost anything. I don't really think I need those bottles. Consumable items and materials, definitely. Fashion items, absolutely. What's cat spirits? I have no idea what Far Seas expeditions are. I don't think I need those bottles. Tales coins, I think, are from minigames. I don't remember if they're relevant to anything else in the game. Oh, right, because the minigames, I think, have like a trade option. Or like, hey, trade in your Tales coins for items. But I don't think it's... Halves level requirements for learning arts. I don't need that. Expand item capacity. Non-material from 15 to 30. Somehow I missed that. Oh, double grade. I mean, I already have plenty of grade. Oof. I mean, I didn't have a hard time beating the... Like, Berseria wasn't that hard for me. The hardest fight was the cameo fight. The final cameo fight. I actually wiped on that. I don't think I ever wiped anywhere else. I think one of the first, like, savage monster encounters wiped me just because I wasn't expecting it. I think. But beyond that, I had a really easy time with the game, so I don't know if I need... Oh, you know what? Maybe that would help with the bonus dungeon. I never finished the bonus dungeon. I got like halfway and the enemy encounters were starting to get a little rough. Like they were taking a long time to beat, so I was like, you know what? I'll come back in my next game. So, yeah, I think expanding item capacity would be good. Oh, the herb enhancements. That costs 1,000 though. Yeah, I don't need to carry over my... But materials, though, if it was just if they were split into consumables and materials, I would carry over my consumables, my materials only, and leave the consumables alone. But I really want those materials, so I'm gonna get that. Cooking, cat spirits. I have no idea what exploration means. Like on the map, because like I mean, you unlock locations as you go through the story. There's really nothing that. Maybe it refers to the quarters where you fight the enemy hordes. It's probably it. In which case, I don't really think I need it because I'll just fight them all again as I get them. So I don't think I need it. But I mean, if I have 50 left over, I'll do it. I really wanted to carry over enhancements, but that's fine. What's level up bonus? Adds level up bonuses to all titles. Some stat increases may be reduced, but they will not go down. Level up bonus to titles. You mean like Tales of Berseria type stuff? Where certain titles increase certain things? Maybe more money. No, I can't even afford that. I have 617 points left. Increases maximum HP by 1,000. Sure. And now I'm down to 110 points. And look at all the stuff that's left. I would have liked more Gal, but that's fine. I already have the cost of upgrading, so I think that'll mesh nicely. Level up bonus. No, I can't afford it. So I mean, sure, I'll take the Tails coins. Either special items or exploration. I have no idea what a Denora or an Enoch bottle is. However, they cannot be used until inherit your progress. Sure, I think that sounds. Oh, in there, I used up all of it. If this works like any other Tales game, when you beat the game, in addition to all the grade you get on your second run, they'll add in this grade, the 3,000 from this run, into your next one. So you'll probably be able to afford everything already, which is, I mean, it's the general gist of how these work. The exception is Symphonia. Yeah. Symphonia's grade shot, because Symphonia's grade system is just absurd. Anyway, that took a long time. Like, I had to make decisions. It was hard. It was like, hey, what awesome thing do you want?
They're already demons.
I will say, freaking. Oh my gosh, like. This game's old, so I mean, if you're going into this expecting me not to spoil shit, I mean, it's not like it's even kept a secret for that long. It's not even really a secret, but...
You hide here, Velvet. I'm going back to help Celica.
Arthur, right? Yeah. I was split between Arthur and Arthur, but I think I was thinking of, if I remember.
You'll be just fine with these.
Arturius here is like...
Celica enchanted them herself. They'll give you the courage you need to survive.
He's like the best.
They will?
The best asshole ever.
Sure they will. Now have I ever lied to you? I'll come back for you once Celica is safe. It's scary. But don't give in to fear. Don't despair, no matter what.
I won't. I promise. After all, I'm Laffy's older sister. And you're a student.
I kind of wish this one had an anime too, but like also I don't think I'd be prepared for that. It's probably better that it doesn't. Hello, doggy. Sucks to be you. I need to remember how to do everything when I actually get to play in the game.
On that day, the world began to change. Men and beasts possessed by evil spirits, hunting and killing anyone they could. But even in the depths of despair, only two things matter to me. The taste of blood-soaked flesh. And revenge upon one man.
Luffy, time to wake up. Okay. Morning. I told you to stop calling me Luffy. I'm not a little kid anymore. Grumble, grumble, huh? You must be feeling good.
I was forgetting the order of operations.
Bit of a
I'm like,
fever,
wait, I
I'm
thought we
afraid.
started in
At
the
least the
village,
new
not in
medicine's
the
supposed to come
dungeon.
today.
But like, oh, okay, I got it now.
Until then, you stay in bed, got it? What? Aw, but I wanted to go to the Cape. Sorry, you'll have to wait. Can I at least read a book?
Don't trouble your sister, Laphicet.
I didn't mean to. Arthur, done chopping firewood?
Yeah, enough to last through winter. But there's something else I need to take care of. Sorry, but medicine money will have to wait a bit.
I can earn it myself then. Bring down a few prickle boars, and I'll have plenty to offer in trade.
On your own?
Arthur's first maxim. Plans must be solid and reactions flexible.
All right. I shouldn't doubt my students' abilities. Sorry to put you in a spot.
I'm sorry, Velvet. Whoa, hey! What's everyone apologizing for? We're a family, right?
Right. I'll see you later.
I whipped up some porridge for you, okay? Be back by evening. Thank you. Be careful, Velvet.
Oh, thank you. I like how they point out the share button, despite the fact that you can't capture anything in this game. You can't capture video, and I don't think you can capture screenshots either. Let me see. Skit, sun triangle, area map, cancel, confirm, right, okay. And also, a ball, village of longing, yeah, and also, just like, I want to say all the other Tales games, but I could be wrong. When you start a new game, they leave your characters in like the exact state that you left them in, including their fashion gear, which can be hilarious depending on what you left them with. Because I know a few of my friends absolutely love like just messing with the outfits that the characters have. I don't mess with them that much, but oh yeah, and all the Norman suits. Alright, yeah, the music, to change the combat music. I always forget about that. Yeah, I unlocked the colors for everybody, so I had everybody in their different colors. So I think as we run into everyone, they'll all be wearing different colors. If that makes sense. Yeah, got the villager clothes here. I forget that the hair is also different. Because I'm so used to Velvet having the crazy long hair, I forget that it wasn't as long. I think I mostly gave everyone earrings, although it's a little pointless for a few of the characters. I want to say Aizen is really hard to see if he's wearing one. I could be wrong though. He looks better with glasses on anyway. Gosh, this game is smooth as fuck. Feels good.
Rest up, all right? Don't forget to take some gels with you. You know, you're careless sometimes. I'll be fine. You just make sure. Don't worry about me. I'll be in bed resting. You better be.
Oh, that's not what he's gonna do at all. Shit, I keep forgetting that start, it's not even start, what is that? Options does not open up the start menu. Obviously not, because it's options. So what items do I have? Looks like I have... Oh, shit. Oh, I still have a bunch of... Well, not a bunch, but a few. Yeah, I don't think I ever used them. Let's see. Oh, it sends you to the entrance. Oh, okay. I thought that they were like quick jump things, and I guess they are, just not exactly the way I thought they were. As long as you passed through before. Sends you to the entrance of any visited town. Okay, yeah. Alright, I see. I'm just looking to see what I got. Alright, these are all the ventites and stuff. Gosh, that is a lot. All my materials. Valuables. Oh, I got the geo board, right. I mean, that won't come into play until much later, but at least I have it. All the outfits. I don't have the add-on content? Thought I did. Right. I remember how arts work. Alright, I'm just familiarizing myself with everything.
Keep warm, and no going outside. Sheesh, you don't trust me at all. It'll get dark if you don't leave soon.
He's right. Yeah, I do like this. The little prompts that the NPCs have let you know if they actually have anything new to say, which is nice. And also there is a counter. I don't know if it's been there from the start. 41. Or if it only comes in like at some point during the story. But it keeps track of how many treasure chests are in certain locations. The Celestial Chronicles, handwritten notes about the world's historic ruins. Gosh. But yeah, there's minimap. The minimap shows your current surroundings, and it's displayed up there. Press square to display the area map. Current objective. I better try Tranquil Woods outside of town. This is for Lappy's message, so I can't mess this up. Yeah, let's not mess things up. We just started. It'd be very, very dickish. Alright. What's this? Lemons? Alright, gosh, it's been a while, but I really do love this game. So, we're just gonna kick on with the good old home village start plot of almost any RPG.
Come to think of it, Arthur hasn't requested his favorite dinner in a while. There's been so much going on, and the village always has him out hunting. Maybe he's just worn out? That does it. I'll cook him up some prickle boar stew, just like Celica taught me. That ought to pick him right up. A healthy portion of nourishing meat cures fevers and weariness alike.
Also, big old shout out to Mrs. Christina V, I think is what she's credited as. She does the voice of Velvet, and she is fantastic. It's global warming, dude. It's real. Oh, look, a cat. Yeah, I wonder why they're talking to themselves. Totally has nothing to do with something that I know about.
Ever since the opening 7 years ago, this world's really gone crazy. Famine, freezing weather, and worst of all, this demon blight that's turning people into monsters.
I can't believe that people can really turn into those things. It's a nightmare.
Does no one know what causes demon blight? Or how to heal it?
No. What we do know is that when people turn into those monsters, I mean, demons, They gain incredible strength and attack humans on sight.
Whoever named it the opening named it right. It's like someone opened a portal directly to hell.
Come to think of it, Celica died during the opening, didn't she? It might be a good thing she died when she did. She didn't have to suffer through all of this.
It's good that my sister died? How can you say that?
Sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
You're a real idiot, you know that? Sorry about him, Velvet.
Gosh, everybody's so depressing. Not surprised though. Things haven't exactly been smooth in this world.
Hey, Velvet. Is Laphicet feeling better? No, not yet. He needs a little more rest, I think. Aw, too bad. Tell him I'm looking forward to hunting beetles with him again when he's better. Right, got it. Laphicet's illness sure is persistent. Yeah, that fever still keeps coming back. Like clockwork. The medicine always helps a little bit. But still, that sounds terrible. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Thanks, but we'll be fine. At least we've got Arthur to take care of anything that needs muscle. And before he came, Celica raised me and Laffy all by herself. So now I have to do my best too. You sound just like your sister. That optimism must run in the family. I do? That's nice of you to say.
I don't really have to talk to everyone, given this is a new run. I've done it before. But it's been 2 years, and I don't remember much. Oh yeah, and there it says there's 2 treasure chests in this area. If I stock up on a few things. It's funny, yeah, of course, you don't have money unless you New Game Plused it. How much money do I have? Oh, I didn't carry over my Gald. Is that actually an option? To carry over your Gald? I'm trying to remember. I guess it was. If it was, I didn't do it. That's fine. No big deal. Legendary food. That's weird. Costs a lot for food. Apple gel is 82. I mean, I have my items, so I should be fine for a bit. Oh, right, because I leveled up the stores. That's right. Oh, here's one. A ring that raises arc defense. There we go. Okay, dokie. Oh, my sweet Velvet. Hello, I can't read that name from back here. Leolius, I think? I think that's an L. Or an I. Probably an L. Maybe an I?
The demon blight is a punishment sent to us by the Empyreans for forgetting the old
yes,
prayers.
the Empyreans.
Who are the Empyreans?
The 4 Empyreans created the world.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 Empyrean shall bring it to
I
peace.
dislike those 4 very much.
Be afraid. When contradiction permeates this world, the time of suppression will be upon us.
Are you okay? Want me to take you home?
No! Don't treat me like a child!
All right then.
Oh, it's you, Velvet. If you're going to the Cape, take care.
Don't fall into the Shrine of Tranquility, right? I know. I'm not a kid.
Of course, of course. You're 13 now, aren't you?
I'm 16.
Oh. Old people are funny. So I believe I can't go this way, and also that's fine. It's not where I want to go. Yeah, there's one more treasure around here. I'm not really gonna kick myself if I don't get it. I mean, I don't think there's any place that you can't come back to in this game after you beat it. Oh, and save point. Important. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back into my old file, so I'll just overwrite it. Oh, the 0 save is, I think, an autosave. Which is weird that I have an autosave at level 70 for a file at level 76. I don't really understand why that's the case. It's a bit peculiar. Unless autosaves. Oh look, rat pigs just aren't that frequent. In which case, that's even weirder. Oh, there it is. I assume that items like I believe this is the way that I need to go. Outlaws in Morgana Woods. Yeah, whatever. So they say a fence is supposed to stop things, and I think that, oh, that's a useless fence, but it actually looks pretty tough for a fence, you know, all things considered. I've seen worse. What do you have to talk about? Why you...
I saw a group of dozens of demons real close to town. If they attack, we're done for. I think we should run now while we can.
Run? To where? There are demons everywhere in Midgand.
We have nothing to worry about. My brother Arthur can protect the ball.
Arthur, huh? They say he used to be one of those exorcists who could control Malachim.
And only exorcists can defeat demons. Yeah, we've all heard the fairy tales. So have all the swindlers who pose as exorcists to con honest folk out of their gold.
Hey! Arthur isn't like that!
If he was a real exorcist, why didn't he protect Celica when the demons attacked?
That's because... Luffy and I... we...
Besides, Arthur is just an outsider who drifted into our village one day. We don't know anything about his past.
Then you must think we're outsiders too. Our parents weren't from here either.
Back to business. We need to deal with these demons.
You're right. We've got to defend our village ourselves. That's what it comes down to. Save the dreaming about exorcists and Malachim for when we're asleep.
Yeah, sure. You guys can totally defend this village on your own without any kind of intervention. I definitely don't see that ending poorly. Alright, so I need to go find some prickle boars to beat up. Smack them. Takes a long time before this game ever brings you back here. Okay. So if it's not this way, then which way is it? Is it towards the sanctuary? Right, I think that leads to the big maze forest that then leads to the big maze town. The towns in this game are pretty sizable. So I'm gonna try not to get caught up talking to people so much. I don't really need to, because once again I beat this game 2 years ago. But it's just a force of habit. I like exploring and taking games. Like, I mean, it's like, would you rather have someone who actually like pays attention to what's going on and explores, or someone who just beelines it through an entire game? Okay, then yeah, this was the way I was supposed to go. Oh yeah, there was something I was gonna mess with. No, not controls. Subtitles, yeah. Right, the shortcuts. Voices and short skits in battle. Yeah, I mean, why would I... Right, I thought so, because in the opening I was like, why are the sound effects so low? I did drop them. Specifically because they kind of overwhelm everything else. We'll see how that turns out when I actually...
There! Prickle boy!
I was also wondering why she was being silent.
Not bad.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
Yeah, the arts are all this, because I don't... Right, I do have all of them, and they don't... How much... What is it that they cost? I forget. But that's fine. I'll leave it like that for now. I'll worry about that later. So many arts! I also never did figure out how to cast a few of the mystic arts, to be completely honest. They were a little too complicated for me. Or I kept forgetting how to do it. What was I gonna edit? Right. I remember now. Difficulties regular players, you will receive less EXP from battles with more Gald and higher bonus EXP. The power of ally healing arts is reduced, making smart tactics a must. It's weird. I was gonna upgrade it to hard for this run since I have some advantages. We'll see how it goes. If it gets too hard, I'll dumb it back down. But like I said earlier, this game wasn't particularly difficult for me.
The cold weather's been terrible on everyone's crops, but at least the city will buy our prickle-boar meat now. Luffy and Arthur have been hoping the village could start raising them, but they can just be so temperamental. I wonder if they could be bred with more docile pigs. What would we call them? Oinkle-boars? Nah, doesn't sound appetizing. What about Piggleboar? Yeah, Piggleboar! That's a cute name. Maybe too cute, though. We wouldn't want to discourage people from eating them.
Yeah, I mean, Prickleboars, I think this says it all in the name that they're a bit prickly.
Right, here goes! Arthur's second maxim. Know your foes and
right, I
strike
remember now
where
how
they're
this
weak.
thing works. I'm looking at the little stamina gauge down there.
Is that all?
Did I get the thing to double grade, or did I not? I don't think I did. That's fine. I keep forgetting not to click too quickly. This game's really good. Obviously it starts off slow, but I mean, what RPG doesn't start off a little slow? I noticed I didn't play a lot of
Right, here goes!
more modern Tales games. Like, for a long time, I really only had Symphonia and Abyss to my belt. And then I played Symphonia 2, and that was kind of it. It was only recently that I played Destiny, Vesperia, and Vesperia almost back to back.
Is that all?
Level up. And
This should be enough to cover the medicine. I'd better bring these to the store.
I hope the volume mixing is okay. Because, like, you know. Yes, this location is totally not important.
This place isn't safe. That hole's gotten bigger. I've told them 1,000 times they ought to build a fence, but they keep saying it's forbidden land. Even Celica used to scare me with it. She was always, "This is a gateway to the underworld." Well, I'm too old to keep falling for that nonsense.
Yes. We all understand that this place is not spooky and nothing happens here ever. It's actually interesting. There's because I'm thinking about later in the game where you have a boss fight here. There's a I can't remember what they're called. I keep calling them savage enemies, which I think is actually from Tokyo Mirage Sessions. But like, they're basically unique, super strong monsters that spawn in certain places. I think they were in Zestiria. They ran around the overworld, but in this game, I think they only pop up if you do a lot of encounters back to back. There was one on Exile Island, but I could never go back there after I left, which was strange. So I don't think I ever fought that one. Wait, I don't need to save. Honestly, it's better to save all the time than to never save, which is an issue I have where I just refuse to save shit.
Right, here goes!
Alright, knock it off.
not bad.
It's funny how casting mystic arts in Tales games always changes. Abyss had my favorite ones. We could rapid fire mystic arts in Abyss like nobody's business. My sis and I. Symphonia has some of the most ridiculous, stupid requirements for some of their mystic arts. Like, I might as well just not cast any of them. Because it's too much. I'm just like, alright. This game, everyone casts their mystic arts in a very different way. But they're not super stupid. I was able to cast, I want to say, all of Velvet's, all of Aizen's.
Right, here goes!
Magilu's last one kept fucking me up though. Like, I had a hard time casting it for some reason. There are times where I thought I had it and then it just didn't go. And there are times where I'm like, okay, I'll do it at the end of this combat, but then all the enemies died, so... Like, for Magilu's, I think I needed to find an enemy that wouldn't die. I keep beating the crap out of it, but they all die by the time I get to the situation where I have to cast it. I think I did all of Laphicet's. I don't think his were too bad. Who else am I missing? Eleanor! I don't remember. I don't remember Eleanor or Laphicet specifically. I think I did all of them. And then Rokuro. Everyone has 3 mystic arts. Not counting the,
Wait, the boars I hunted. Are you there? Maxim 3. Never waver once your sword is drawn. Control your feelings to control the tide of battle.
Alright, you dumb boars. Oh, there's a lot of them. Sorry I called you dumb.
This is for Luffy!
Alright, you stop it. It really doesn't matter what day I choose to,
I did it!
Ooh.
Cirrus.
It really doesn't matter what day I choose to stream. They're always going to make noise around here. The issue of...
An exorcist art.
Pride and anxiety. Pity for the enemy. Thrill of victory. Your emotions run too hot. That will be your downfall. Agreed. It's one of her virtues as well.
Huh?
Yes, I know. But even so, she's got to...
Arthur?
Arthur's 4th maxim. Never let your guard down, even when victorious.
Got it.
In any case, this should be enough to buy Laphicet's medicine. I'll drop the prickle boars off at the shop before I head out.
Head out where?
The person I was supposed to meet is late. I don't think I'll be home tonight. I came out here to let you know. You'll have to pick up the medicine yourself.
Right.
One more thing. I saw a group of demons near the village. If you're attacked, run away. Am I clear?
No way! I can handle a bunch of...
Demons can only be challenged by those with the talent for exorcism. That's the cold logic of the world, and no emotions can change it.
Do you think I could become an exorcist?
Why is it you think that birds fly?
Why? Well, without flying, they couldn't find food.
It takes a particular innate talent to be an exorcist. Unfortunately, very few humans have it within themselves.
All right.
Tomorrow is Celica's Memorial Day. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Hurry back! I'll make you a quiche, just the way she taught me.
I think I had my mic backwards. Oops. So I wasn't facing the input side. I could be wrong though. Hopefully I was. It was. I mean, I flipped it around. So either it was right and now it's wrong, or it was wrong and now it's right.
I wonder if those prickle boars were brothers. Maybe I should have let them go. But then, how would I pay for Laufey's medicine? Hunting took care of that. And it means food for us as well. I had no other choice. It was a rational decision. But the fact that I'm still worrying about it shows that my feelings are getting the better of me.
Trying to remember where that came up. Well, I mean, I guess it comes up a lot. This is a game I feel I played recently that had that exact same little conundrum. Well, I say recently, but this was 2 years ago, so I'm probably thinking more of like in my mind space 2 years ago. We won't be in this village for much longer, because then after that, shit hits the fan, and it doesn't stop until 70 hours in.
Nico, here for groceries?
Yep. And you must have been out hunting.
Yeah, it was a good haul.
Look at you, lady breadwinner. If you were a boy, I think I'd be in love.
Good thing I'm a girl.
That a frickin'...
Oh, yeah? You ought to do something about your
I
style,
just remembered
then.
something. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah. I kind of broke my comb.
So get a new one.
Sure, I'd like to, but...
Hey, mister! How about a sale on combs for the pretty girl?
Huh? Oh, you two need something?
I'm fine, Nico. I'm just here to pick up medicine.
It's,
for
what's the
Laufey
word?
said.
Penny pinching.
Oh, Velvet. I already told Arthur, but I'm afraid the medicine hasn't come in yet.
What? Why not? Is it because of the demons?
Seems like the demon blight's really taking a toll on the city. There's even a group of them lurking around here now.
When's it coming, then?
I can't say. And I don't know how much it will cost.
Oh, no.
Ugh, what is wrong with Midgand? I mean, don't they have an army or something?
Those guys? The demons already routed them a while back.
But we're safe here, right? After all, your brother-in-law's an exorcist.
You so sure about that? Arthur can't even use his right hand anymore. Poor fellow couldn't even protect his own wife and child.
Let me know when the medicine gets in.
Of course. For now, here, on the house.
Velvet! You didn't forget, did you?
Doggos.
You promised to teach me how to make your special quiche.
You mean for that apprentice animal doctor you had your eye on? You were serious?
Beyond serious? Please. This is life or death for me.
But I thought your folks weren't keen on the two of you dating.
Who cares what people think? The important thing is my feelings.
I like the way you talk. If I were a boy, I think I'd be in love.
Darn right.
Gosh, I was gonna say something about
Laufey
this
must be starving by now.
freaking village, I think.
I'd better hurry home.
I just think it's odd, this place, how, it's like no one really cares about its existence. I mean, I guess, like they said, the demons are kind of running rampant, killing everyone. And I guess because of all the years that they skip, I mean, actually, I don't know how much time they skip from now to the rest of the game. But, like, the city, because you go to the city that's near this village, and I feel like no one in there mentions this village ever. It's like they don't care that it was wiped out. I could be wrong, though.
Orthe and Russ seem pretty down today.
I know. They've been whimpering like this for an hour now.
Well, they've always been a bit wimpy. The other day, that kitty Rollo chased both of them up a tree by himself.
They're hopeless. Whenever it's thundering out, they both dive into my bed, shivering.
Orthy, Russ, shape up. You're Nico's bodyguards, right? Start acting like it. They're completely hopeless.
Maybe. But they're so cute, so I forgive them.
Yeah, they are pretty adorable.
Celica taught you how to make your special quiches, right, Velvet?
Yeah, but mine aren't nearly as good as hers.
Don't be modest. They're fantastic. Simple, yet elegant.
That's because there's a secret in the cheese on the dough.
You should try selling them
That's
in
the city.
Taliesin. I'm sure they'd be a hit. We could make them together and take them on the road. We could even wear matching uniforms.
Would it make more money than hunting fricklebores?
Definitely, maybe. Even more so if you could lighten up a bit in front of the customers.
Then it might be worth a try. I do want to buy Laffy a nice heavy winter coat. And Arthur's gloves are in tatters, so he needs new ones.
Oh, don't be so boring. I get where you're coming from, but come on. Think big. Dream, Velvet. Dream.
Think big? No thanks. I want a peaceful life with Laffy and Arthur. That's all.
You're impossible. Then again, maybe that's why your quiches taste so darn good.
I have no idea what quiche is, but I'll take their word for it. Unless I don't know what it is more that I've never had it. Though I also don't know what it is. I forgot, is there... I mean, I don't have cooking here yet, so I guess I'll look it up later. I feel like maxing out character cooking also got harder in later games. I actually don't remember Zestiria too well, but like in Abyss compared to frickin' Symphonia, it's actually pretty difficult to increase like cooking expertise or whatever it's called. Because Symphonia, everyone has a different
Hi, Celica. I'm back. I can't believe it's been 7 years since we lost you. And the baby you carried. Oh, drat. I forgot to bring your princessias. I know how much you, Mom, and Dad all loved those flowers. And I know your child would have too. I'm sorry. I'll pick some from the Cape tomorrow.
Like, everybody has different star ratings in Symphonia. Some of them can go up to 7 with certain dishes, some only up to 3. But they, like, I don't know, like, what the logic is between how many times you have to cook it for it to level up. It's a lot faster.
Welcome home, Velvet.
Laffy, I told you to stay in bed.
I was only up for a little.
Look, your fever hasn't gone down a bit. Go lie down and I'll cook dinner.
I'm sorry.
What's this?
A compass. It uses a magnet to tell you which way you're facing.
Woohoo! You can use the sun and stars for that.
And what'll you do if it's cloudy, huh? Thanks to this invention, we'll even be able to voyage across the ocean. See? It's designed to stay level, so your heading will be true even when the ship is rolling with the waves. Pretty neat, right?
If you say so, Laffy.
Come on, it's a must-have for any adventure. Can't you see how useful it is?
You can tell me more about it later.
Did they hurt you?
Not a scratch, and I brought back plenty. I can hear Arthur already. Gosh, Velvet, I think it's time you learned all my secret arts.
He isn't coming home tonight, is he?
How do you know that?
Sarah stopped by and told me.
Arthur's Moloch? Huh, you really can talk to Malakim, can't you?
Yeah, Arthur says I've got exorcist potential.
No kidding. I think you'll be an exorcist to rival even him. I can tell you've been learning all sorts of things from his book
Those are the books
collection.
from Zestiria, right?
I really want to become an exorcist. I want to go traveling with you and see all the wonders of the world. I'll hunt and chop firewood And if demons come for us, I'll defend you. I wish I could do that.
You'll get there, Laphicet. It should only take... 20 years tops.
It won't take me that long.
Oh yeah? You better prove it to me then. Start with this lovely meatball stew I cooked. Eat every last mouthful, even if you don't feel hungry. And take your medicine, no matter how nasty it tastes. No tricks. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, cooking time. First, I need to light the stove.
The day before Scarlet Night, Sis went prickle boar hunting on her own. She's almost as good a fighter as Arthur, so I know those prickle boars don't stand a chance. But I worry that she's too athletic to land a husband. Maybe she should try to be more ladylike.
Little scamp. He just knew I'd be reading this, didn't he?
Oh man, every time someone tells Velvet to be more ladylike, it's like, no! Observations on the Nameless Empyrean. Oh, you mean Innominat?
Isn't this Arthur's book? Is Laffy really reading stuff this dense? Poor kid's gonna squint his eyes.
This is
right
like the
out.
perfect, what is it? Not red herring, like, it's the opposite of that because it actually means something. Because it's like, oh, Laffy was reading a book about Innominat. I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. 60 hours later, it means everything. So it's amusing. That kind of stuff's amusing. I think this was the one that Saray had. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember. It was the book about ruins in the world, which I think was this one. I could be wrong, though. It's been a while since I played Berseria, too. Okay, so, right. It's on the other side of the table.
It's so easy to light Arthur's firewood. I wonder what his
Considering
trick
what
is.
happens next, this scene really hits in the
Velvet?
feels. Yeah.
Could you not put any spinach in the stew?
Huh. You'll never grow up if you're picky with your food, you know.
I know, but just for today?
Fine, fine. I'll leave out the spinach just this once. And I'll make it that curry flavor you like.
Really? Thanks, Velvet.
There's some of Arthur's special curry spice upstairs, isn't there?
Pop-tato, pop-tato.
There you go. Not spicy hot, but oh so delicious. Oh yeah, I saw Nico today, and she had very important
Oh,
things
did
to
she?
talk about. She's coming over in the next couple days, so be on your best behavior.
I will. I'm glad you've got a good friend.
Yeah, we've known each other since forever. Still, Nico falling in love? I can barely wrap my head around it. Laffy, you know, if there's a girl you like, you'll tell Big Sister all about it, right?
Girl?
You're a stubborn little brat, so you might need an older girl to keep you under control. Oh, and she's gotta be a good cook. A pro in the kitchen is a success at life.
Knock it off, Velvet! You should be more worried about your own love life.
Me? I've got enough on my mind. For one thing, I've got to cook for you and Arthur since Celica is gone. Besides, getting crushes on strange men? I just don't see what's so... Laffy, what's wrong?
Yeah, who needs a ladder? Those freaking... I love the skits in this game. They're freaking amazing. Like...
Are you alright? I'll bring you some water.
I'm fine.
Compared to all the other
You just
skits,
said
they have
something
like
funny
so
is all.
many...
And it made me choke a bit.
Just...
As
Given
long
how
as you're
long they
okay.
are in this game especially,
Sorry, I went off on
it
a
makes sense
tangent
that they
there.
put like a lot of
Who
effort
knows
into
what
it.
the
I just
future
like the
holds.
feel of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember how
But what
Zesteria's
more
were.
can
It's
I
been too
do?
long.
I've got a duty to look after my little brother, and I'm serious about it.
I know, but I'm trying to look after you too. I want you to be happy. That's all. And it's not just me. Arthur worries about you too.
Well, we're family, right?
Yeah, that's what families do.
Thanks, Laffy. For you, I'd kill every last prickle boar in the forest if it came down to it. What am I doing? I need to hurry and get dinner ready.
Gosh, it always disappoints me. I mean, just because like of this and Zesty, even Symphonia 2, going back to the old ones, it's like, yeah, the skits don't have any voice acting, and I'm like, why do they not have voice acting? Like Symphonia and Abyss is like a real bummer. I just saw there's a mod someone shared on Steam for Symphonia that puts all the Japanese voice acting for the skits in, but keeps the rest of the game English. I'm like, oh, that sounds nice.
Good boy. You didn't forget your medicine.
Well, I did promise. Tomorrow's a scarlet night.
Yeah, just like that night that changed our lives.
Velvet, may I sleep next to you tonight?
Of course.
It's actually kind of amazing how much is actually going on in this little section. Like, within the subtext and behind the scenes, there's a lot that's actually happening in the village section before the rest of the game, but you don't know about any of it until
Today,
like 40
I got to
hours
dry
into
some
the
meat
game.
and use that cheese I've been saving to make a quiche for... Laffy? You little... Where have you gone? You better not have gone to the
Was my
village alone. I bet your fever hasn't
Was my
even
mic
gone
on when I
down.
said that? Like I'm trying to turn it off whenever stuff gets loud outside. Or I was basically, I'll summarize it. Village section. Lots of stuff happens. Even more stuff happens behind the scenes that you don't find out till later. That's it. That's all I was gonna say. Because it's really funny. Because a lot of it, from when I first played it, just seems pretty simple and like easy to understand. And like it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's like here we're introducing how the character started before we jump ahead and ruin everything. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. But then like when you revisit this time from a different perspective, you're like, oh shit, that meant this and this meant that, and it's great. Because it's like, whoa. Hey everyone, what's up? Has anyone seen a tiny little boy? It's fine. I like the game. Oh.
Hey, has Laffy been here?
No. I haven't seen him.
Wait, that's one of Arthur's.
Actually, it's a copy that Laffy made. A smart merchant would pay a pretty penny for this book. I gave him a fair trade.
Laffy, did he really copy all that by hand? Oh, he must have done it to buy that compass.
No, though he gave it some puppy eyes. Told him I'd throw it in for free, but he said that it would be a bad deal for me. He's a good lad, but not the merchant type.
So, what did he use the money for?
I'm afraid my lips are sealed. You'll have to ask him.
Velvet, I saw Laffy walking around. Is he okay?
He's not okay. Where'd you see him?
He was headed for the forest. I'll help you look for him.
Thanks. Do a sweep of the village, just in case. I'll check the forest.
Gosh, this actually reminds me of freaking. I tried to
I know. He might have
record a
gone to the
live
cave to
stream
pick
for not a
flowers.
live stream, a let's play of Star Fox Assault, and it was hard because I just couldn't find the time to talk. Because like the action is super
I
loud,
was going to have them join the search,
and
but they
the
won't
characters
move
talk to
at
each
all.
other like
It's like
24/7.
they're scared of something.
So I was like, I couldn't find the time to insert my commentary. I'm like, this is really bad. I only recorded like 2 episodes. And I never uploaded them because I was like, I'll have to try this again later, and then I never tried it again later.
Have you seen Laphicet?
Nope. Can't say that I have.
All right. Let me know the second you see him.
Got it. Is he in bad shape?
Well, he refuses to stay in bed. He needs his rest, but he's always walking around or reading outside.
I can't say I'm surprised. He's always been a curious lad. He likes reading difficult books. When I saw him the other day, he told me all about the latest navigation techniques and exotic farming methods, too. Only one kid in a million is as smart as he is.
You're exaggerating. Well, maybe not.
It's a shame. If he could go to school in the capital, I'm sure he'd make a name for himself as a scholar.
The capital? Isn't that days and days by ship from Taliesin? No way. Not happening. Even if he gets better, I could never let him go that far away all by himself.
He can handle it. He's actually a very responsible boy. I don't think you need to worry.
I couldn't handle it. I would worry. And be lonely.
Yeah, he's They make a point to point out how smart Laffy is, and you're like, ah, yeah, what does that matter? Does that mean anything? It means everything.
Hey, Velvet, did you hear the news? Tonight is going to be another Scarlet Night.
I remember the moon turned red 7 years ago.
Like Laffy said, so smart.
It's a red lunar
I think it's Laffy said
happens
being
every several
smart.
years or so.
That's
you
what
can predict
causes
the
the
next
whole
one by
plot to
watching the
happen.
movements of the stars.
Kind of like
According to
his
legend,
fault, big
a
time.
crimson moon is a gate that connects our world
I
to the
guess
next.
he is smart, but he
It's
didn't
also
really
said to be
think
proof
through
of
what he was
humanity's
thinking,
sins.
or at least
sure
he
know
didn't
a lot
account
about it.
for certain
Laffy
things.
said taught me,
Which I
just
mean,
a
I guess
few
I
minutes
can't
ago.
blame him.
You saw Laffy? Where'd he go?
Actually, I don't know. Sorry.
Aww.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the other direction. They're probably still blocking off the path to Taliesin, which is fine. I don't really need to go that way anyway. Oh, was there something there? Yeah, there is. Ore fragments. I forget what most of these materials are for, but why would I not pick them up?
Right, here goes.
You don't know how good it feels to have someone who's actually professional at, like, this. Oh my gosh. So
Not bad.
one of my unexpected birthday gifts from like, what, a month ago? Yeah. Was Christ Tales, or Chris Tales. I always call it Christ Tales. Chris Tales on, oh.
Laffy!
What are you doing here?
Can you walk? How's your fever?
I'm fine. I was just taking a break.
Oh, you little... You know better than this, Laphicet. Running off without telling me. What if something happened to you? You wouldn't be the only one hurt. Do you understand that?
I'm sorry.
If you want to do something, just ask. I know I'm a crummy big sister, and I can't afford to buy you all the things you want.
No, that's not why I went out. You see, it was just...
I get it. You're right. I forgot the flowers for the graves.
Yeah, so I was going out to the Cape, and I thought...
You want to see the ocean too, don't you?
Well, yeah, that too.
Fine. Just for today, though.
Are you sure?
I am. But next time you run off like that, I'm strapping you to your bed.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. It's off to the Cape then.
Just stick him on there like a freaking insane asylum. That'll teach him.
Remember how we went out together to pick princessias on the morning of Celica's funeral?
Yeah. I was only 4, but I remember. We couldn't find any in the village or at the cape.
Right, because the demons had made a mess of them. And then you suddenly started climbing down the edge of the cliff.
You ran over and grabbed me. You had the scariest look on your face.
Of course I did. Do you have any idea what I'd do if I lost you too?
You'd still have Arthur. He'd help you. He'll help the world. He's quite the guy.
That's probably true. But I'd still miss you like you wouldn't believe.
I know. I'm sorry, sis.
But down the cliff from where you were, a lone pair of Princessia were blooming.
I remember. A gentle breeze came in, and it smelled like Celica.
That's right. That's why I believe those flowers were a message from her. Do you know what Princessia flowers signify?
An irreplaceable treasure, and wishes for good health for many years to come.
Right. And that sums up my feelings nicely, Laufey.
Yeah. Me too, sis.
Yeah, so for every time there's another skit, I'm like, yeah, I can't talk.
How about I make you some apple
What is
boo when we
apple
get
boo?
home, Laufey?
Apple boo?
Oh, he doesn't know either.
Grated apples. Whenever I caught a cold when I was little, Celica would make it for me. It's sweet and tart and juicy and crisp. Eating it always made me feel better.
Well, apples are good for you. But what does the boo mean?
When I was a baby, I would always say boo-boo when I wanted to eat an apple.
So that's where the name comes from. Wait, you called apples boo-boo? You must have been a strange baby.
You used to do the same thing. When Celica and I heard you, we laughed so hard.
Boo!
Oh, poor Laphicet. So, like, I was saying, I didn't expect to get Christ Tales as a gift. Chris Tales, whatever. And, like, I was enjoying it, but, like, good gosh, look at this. I touched the enemy, I got into a fight, and now I'm beating the shit out of it. Isn't that awesome? In Christ Tales, when you... Well, you don't run into enemies because it's random encounter, so they're not on the overworld. But when you run into a random encounter, it cuts to a white loading screen for 30 seconds, and then you start fighting, and it's awful. I don't think that game was very well optimized. I know the go-to is like, well, don't games on the Switch usually have pretty poor loading times? And I guess in some cases, some do. Especially if they're like multi-platform ports, usually the Switch port. I mean, this has been an issue. It translates to almost every Nintendo port, and it's really annoying that those always have longer loading times. But still, like, I can deal with most loading times, but that's just ridiculous. It's the same with screen transitions too.
Is that all?
The way the arts are handled in this game are pretty cool, honestly. The arts flowcharts that you get to use to move from one to the other is awesome. The customization is really cool. It's like, geez, when I first started getting into this game and everybody started learning arts and everything, I was like, this is rad. I think this is the only Tales game I've ever played where I actually like playing as almost all the characters. Obviously, I play as Velvet the most, because I usually play as the main character the most. But Aizen's really cool, Rokuro's really cool, Eleanor's really cool. Magilu and Laphicet they're good. It's just that, once again, I've never been good at the spellcasting type of characters, but even then, because of the way that this game plays and the way that they fight, I'm still better at Laphicet and Magilu, and I have more patience with them than I did for most of the other spellcasters in the Tales games that I've played. Berseria, I only really like playing as Sorey and Rose. I tried out all the Seraphim,
Come on, let's
but
go to the cave.
I was like, yeah, the other ones are just better, the physical attackers. And then for Vesperia, oof.
Just look at all these. This place never changes, does it?
It does too change. The seasons, the wind, the weather. Change one and the sea's totally different. And the same goes for what lies across the sea.
Across the sea? Sometimes I just don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Velvet. Thank you for taking me out here today.
You don't need to thank me. Hey, Luffy. Do you know why it is that birds fly?
Well, if they didn't, they couldn't catch food or escape from predators.
Thought so.
But you know, I think there's more to it than that. A bird that's born with wings has to...
A demon! Luffy said, run! No matter how much it hurts, run! Velvet! Don't be scared. You can do it. You're going to be strong, like Arthur.
No, you can't!
Go!
Ah, yes, the good old, do you know why it is the birds fly?
Don't let your feelings
Very
get in the
important.
way, or that thing will kill you too! But please, go!
Alright, you asshole.
It's just like Arthur.
0 damage for now, but soon I'll be killing you guys by the thousands and it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel so good.
Stop! Face me, demon!
Jeez. Kind of a jerk.
Velvet.
Is this why?
Forgot that was a sword, actually. Because, like, obviously he walks around with it sheathed and it looks like a stick. Like a staff, I mean.
How did I get home?
Velvet!
Luffy, you're all right.
Sorry. It's all my fault.
No, if you weren't there, there's no telling what might have happened to me.
And both got smacked real hard by a big wolf man. Good times.
Your old one broke, right? You've got beautiful hair. It would be a waste if you didn't take care of it. I'll make a new world. A world where my sister can be happy.
The Scarlet Knight? What's going on? Was it all a dream? No, it wasn't!
Yay! Stuff's gonna be totally fine now. Alright. It's a lot of demons.
No! What's happening?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, no, I don't want to play with you guys. I can't, unfortunately. Soon I will be able to, but not yet.
What on earth is going on? This is no time to be scared. I have to find Laufey.
Oh, hello.
No. The village.
What was I gonna say? I forget.
Don't give up. Never give up.
Hello. Goodbye. I can't punch any of you. Velvet has a sword on her wrist so she can punch and stab you at the same time. It's pretty great. Alright. I probably could have gone through this section farther, but like I'm like, you know, I'm watching the skits and talking to people. Honestly, I need to look back. I need to look at my YouTube channel, see how long my Zestiria streams were. Like how long it took me to beat that one. This one, I don't know, might take longer if I keep playing it like an idiot.
Laufey! Arthur! Velvet!
You.
Oh, thank goodness. You kept Laufey safe, didn't you, Arthur?
One more sentiment to cast off.
Velvet, run! Arthur!
Here, once, was the seal to the underworld broken. And tonight, here shall be born the power to save the world. With Laufey's life as a sacrifice.
What? What are you saying?
Let him go. This is an offering to the world.
Why would you?
Nothing can save him now.
No!
I see you will not change. Ever a slave to emotion. demon that feeds on demons.
Arthur.
A Therian.
Alright, you stupid things. I can finally kill you now. I'm running away from you jerks. I don't need any enemy reinforcements. I just need you guys to die. Gosh, they just fold.
Take a look around. Demon blight has spread through the village. But do not fear. With my power as an exorcist, I, Artorius Colbrand, will end your pain.
Ceres.
Why is it that birds fly? Behold my answer. Velvet.
Arthur.
I ask no forgiveness. The sin is mine to bear.
I will make you pay!
Oh,
so did
I was
my
about to say
world
something.
come to an end. And for
There we
3
go.
long years, I sat in that pit of darkness and fed. Devouring demons. So I could live. So I could live long enough to kill him. And be my brother's vengeance. Where is he?
First, there will be a test. It will decide if you are worth teaching. If you are not, I will kill you. Ready yourself.
Probably the main reason that I, like, when I first played this game, I started playing it, and I think I was working at the time, so every time I came home from work, I'd, like, boot it up immediately and get back to it. And the reason was, I was like, I want to see Velvet get her revenge. I was, like, super on board with it, and I was like, I want to see how this ends. I was, like, dedicated. I put in an absurd amount of time into this game in a short amount of time. Honestly, my final playtime wound up being about 70 hours, which is honestly, it's a bunch. But gosh, it felt like so much more because I was just living. I was like eat, breathe, and living this game when I first played it. It's pretty crazy how much time I put into it and how.
Why are you holding back?
You noticed. Well done. You pass.
Of course. His Moloch would never be so weak as that.
I am his Moloch no longer. First, let me tell you what has transpired these past 3 years. There are exorcists now throughout the land, challenging the reign of demons with the help of...
Tell me. Tell me where Artorias is.
You may find him in the capital city of Logris, in Midgand. You won't stop to listen. I can tell you what it was you saw that night. That night, the ritual he performed shifted the very course of the world. A host of Malachim descended, and with their strength, the emergent exorcists quelled the demon tide. Now, he serves as leader of the Exorcists' Abbey, an institution that enjoys the unconditional faith of the kingdom and public. A shield to guard the people and a sword against demons, Artorias Colbrand, the world's savior.
With power stolen by sacrificing Laphicet.
Indeed. But his power is not yet absolute. The man can still be killed.
Why are you doing this?
Make a successful escape from this place, and I'll explain.
Escape? So that's your game. Fine. I don't care what the world thinks of me. What matters is my vengeance against Artorias. That's all.
I have shattered your yoke. We must hurry.
Ah, yes, Titania. Gosh, we come back here so often, it's a little ridiculous. Like, no joke. I love it, though. This place is... many good memories of this place. Shift copper coin. And now take me back down. I don't want to go back down. Oh, I got it through the cell gates.
You will need equipment. There are weapons in the room ahead.
Sounds easy enough. Pick up like a What is a hoarder? I see items, I'm like, give me. I don't care what they are, I just want them.
No one raised the alarm.
I can see that.
Take what you need from here.
Yeah, it looks like they're dead.
It looks like they kept prisoners' effects in here.
Rope. This will be useful. Quite a blade.
I know that sword. Stormhowl. What is it doing here?
Well, it's too big for me.
You're not taking it? It's a celebrated masterpiece.
And if I can't use it, it's worthless.
Like, to be fair, it's not like Rokuro uses it either. He says he will, but then he never does.
All right.
Are you ready then?
What's going on here?
Oh, hello, sir. You chose the wrong place to pop up into.
He's no ordinary soldier. He's an exorcist orderly.
Yeah, and he's just one.
You didn't even flinch.
I already told you. I am his Moloch no longer.
Is there a ship waiting?
So you already know we're on an island?
Yes. I've learned that this is a prison island for violent criminals, and that there are scores of demons locked away here. Demons say lots of things when they don't want you to eat them.
The prison has docks at both the front and rear entrances. Our ship is on the back side.
Got it. The back docks.
Got rope. That'll be useful. Yeah, they don't actually change your outfit with the story since this is a, what's it called? New game. Yeah, I'm gonna go back into the blue outfit. It's really nice. Yeah, at this point she wears the familiar outfit that everybody knows her for. Only it's black and red as opposed to blue. I like blue though, so we're going with blue. I honestly wonder what I left the rest of the cast in. I'm not sure if they're in their normal colors, alt colors, jacketless versions, because everyone has a jacketless version too, which I think is interesting. Did I not carry over my arts? I thought I did. I didn't? Huh. I mean, that's fine. I don't really, like, it doesn't bother me. I know I have the usage. I did carry that over. What are these again? Oh, the break souls. I don't remember how to use them. I know there haven't been a lot of tutorials popping up. I don't remember if there were a lot of tutorials when I first played it. I hope some show up. Specifically the Mystic Art one, so I can...
What is this thing?
That's a special mass of mana. Think of them as the souls belonging to a family of Malachim. They appeared all over after the Advent 3 years ago.
Another after effect of the Advent.
If you collect enough of them, you might be able to solicit the cooperation of a Moloch family.
And I'm supposed to take your word for it?
I'm not forcing you to do anything. Whether you collect them or not is up to you.
I might as well pick them up. I'll use every tool at my disposal.
Indeed. You'll have to if you want your revenge.
It takes... Oh yeah, I think I can use that and give it to the cat. I just love how the second she gets out of prison, it's like a beeline for Artorias. Like the route you take to get to him is actually incredibly quick by the time you actually do face him.
Guards coming. 2 of them.
This way.
Did you hear? The path around the island is off limits now. They say the ground's weak and could collapse.
that goes under the watchtower? That's alright. Nobody uses it anyway.
True, but it was a nice shortcut to the docks.
A shortcut to the docks. Under the watchtower.
A number of guards have gone missing. It would seem we have intruders on the island. All exorcists, break into 2 groups and converge at the front and rear gates.
Understood. No one will get past us.
Stay sharp. The threat could be
Sure.
serious.
No one will get past you.
Yes, sir.
Just watch.
This isn't going to be easy.
Then we'll need reinforcements of our own. Where are the cells?
They should be on this floor. You plan on involving the other prisoners?
I'll use any tool I have at my disposal.
Yay, prison riot. I mean, if you're gonna be in a prison, you have to start a prison riot. That's how it goes. I forget what giving the stuff to the Malaks does, but I do remember doing it. Obviously, I mean, the souls are right there. Might as well pick them up.
Who in the blazes are you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That should do it.
I remember how to use break souls now. At least I think I do. Like, obviously I can't do it, because I don't think it's been introduced yet, but... Hey guys, what's up?
Listen up! I'm opening every door to every cell. We're getting off this island.
What the hell? You serious?
Yeah, I mean, why not? This could be fun.
Split into 2 groups and rush the front and rear gates. Break through the gates and you'll have a ship.
But aren't they guarded by exorcists? I mean, that pirate Von Eifried's the only one who's ever broken out of here.
And he didn't pull it off just by himself. He was hauled out by some old exorcist named Melchior or something.
Von Eifried? And Melchior.
I won't force you. You want to rot in here? Then rot.
I'm with you. Anything's better than another day on this
Let's do
road.
it. I'm going home to my family.
Me too!
Yeah!
Let me out,
Rogues
girl!
like us are always
I'm
up for a
sick of the
gamble.
slop they feed us.
Ceres.
Okay, that last guy had made the best point. I mean, you know, you could stomach almost anything, but if the food's shit, then it's not worth it.
Let's go! We'll murder those exorcists!
Open all the doors!
That ought to draw the attention of the guards. In the meantime, we'll search for that watchtower. From there, we can follow the outer path down to the docks.
So you're leaving them all to their fates?
I told you, we'll use any tool I need.
Sure, they'll be fine. They'll be dead, but like, who cares? Coward. Hope someone comes in here and shoots you. I don't think they have guns in this universe. Actually, I say that, but I just remember that the Eifried ship does have cannons. Alright, well, that's respectable. As long as he's happy. Stop trying to make me pick an answer for you.
You're not going to escape?
Don't underestimate the exorcists. They're all gonna die like dogs. Or goblins.
This abbey that's in charge of this place. They're that amazing?
Amazing doesn't even begin to cover it. The exorcists of the abbey joined forces with the kingdom of Midgand. And they've got the whole world
Well,
in
that
their
sounds
pocket.
nice.
They're merciless. They hunt down any human who becomes a demon. Going against them means taking on the whole world.
And I bet I know who's at the top.
Those who get captured and sent here are the lucky ones. We may be monsters, but at least we have our lives.
Sure, until they get fed to me. Thanks for the info.
Even if you manage to escape this place, thousands of exorcists controlling powerful Malachim will be out there waiting for you. There's nowhere for you to run. Nowhere.
I'm not going to run. I'll gladly die, as long as I take Artorias with me.
That's a very helpful goblin. I like him. Shame he's not coming along. But I mean, he has a point. At least until he sees the shit that we have stored up for this. I wonder how all these guys are gonna feel when they find out I actually do escape. Like, you missed out. Ooh. Battle boots. Alright, everyone's free, we can leave now. I gotta remember to look at the treasure chest counter up there. It's very helpful.
Dear me, not a word of apology? What is wrong with you people? There I was, sleeping like a sweet babe, when suddenly... From paradise down to hell!
No worse, a grimy prison cell.
You see why I'm not feeling well.
And you are?
Hooray! You asked! I'm thrilled to introduce to you the wise sorceress who travels the 11 seas, who scoffs at the might of dragons! None other than the acclaimed, the illustrious Magikiki Dindo Dino Larundu! Magilu for short.
Magilu?
No, Ma! Like Soggy Shoe or Doggy Doo, or call me any of those things and I'll turn you into a froggy stew! I suppose you'll never understand. People can be so tragically unlearned. But hey, like I care.
That wordless turnaround, like, okay, fuck off, is like so great.
I can't believe she snuck up on me. Who is she?
This is no ordinary prison. We must be cautious. Trust no one. She said she's a powerful witch.
Did she have a Moloch tethered?
No, I didn't sense Malachim around her. She's an ordinary human, I think.
Then she's an ordinary magician, not a witch. If she tries to trick me again, I'll crush her and be done with it.
I bet there's gonna be tons of times coming up where you wish you did do that. But, I forgot Magilu was in here, actually. I know we bump into Rokuro in a bit, but I completely forgot that we saw her in here. I think Aizen comes next and then Fee is last in terms of bumping into them. Glad to know I've been saying it right all this time. So much for the prison riot. Hey, what's up?
More?
This one. He's a demon!
Get ready.
Hello, sir. I never could figure out your mystic arts. I tried. I really tried.
You're not human.
Neither are you.
True enough. Deception!
Speed dragon!
He's strong.
Chips in the blades already. Brittle, these exorcist knives. I've got to reclaim Stormhowl.
Stormhowl? That sword we found?
You found it? Where? Do you have it? Please tell me.
It's in a storage room. Down below.
Down below? You have my thanks.
He's an odd demon.
I feel like they're all odd.
If things settle down, we'll miss our window. Hurry.
Ah, yes, the legacy of Stormhowl. That's always a good time.
Stormhowl. Could that demon be...
What is it?
Nothing. That demon swordsman was just strange. He was so full of fury, but when you started talking about that sword, his manner changed completely.
Don't think too much about it. He's a demon after all.
The prisoners here are all so unusual. Except for you.
Forget it. Like I care what a Moloch thinks of me.
Truly an odd bunch that was picked up. Yeah, leading into this, I've been playing, like, all my PS4 time was dedicated to Bioshock the Collection. Oops. Which I got, like, I got that for my birthday also. And I think yesterday, day before, I want to say Monday, I 100%ed Bioshock 1, which was the last one, so the entire collection is done. Like, I have all the trophies, including all the DLC stuff. I think the total is 201 trophies between all three games.
We're finished here. Let's hurry on.
Getting out of here comes first.
And I was like, okay, cool. And, like, I think I mentioned this already, but it was probably before the stream started, so I'll just mention it now. I was, oh, a grade bonus. That's nice. Jeez.
They've got the gate to the docks locked down.
Everybody's dead.
The tower should be just ahead.
But, like, I was going to say once I beat Bioshock and I 100%ed, I was going to play, I was going to get Tales of Berseria, but I was like, nah. I never finished this.
We've just about quelled this riot. You won't
Like
be getting away.
because I've been wanting to play it again for a long time. 2 years. I have no clue if I should actually go through streaming the whole thing. Because, like, I'm having so much fun, I kind of just want to play it on my own time. But, I mean, I streamed all of Berseria, so... And I actually like this one a lot more than Berseria, so I'll probably have an easier time getting through it.
That was surprisingly easy.
Yeah, they sucked.
The prisoners are doomed.
Time is short. We need to get down to the path.
A chipped coin. Another chipped coin. Ooh. Money. I need money. I forget what once again, I'm going to have to go look at the stream again and see what it is I bought from the grade shop, because I specifically forgot some of the things that I thought I got. Like, I don't have anyone's arts, I don't have anyone's equipment, even though I don't think we could actually carry that over.
The path has collapsed. That rope won't do any good here. Wait, you're not seriously going to try it, are you?
He fell further than this back at the shrine.
I gotta make it with style.
I see you are truly committed to this. You're strong. I would almost think you made an oath. It's a ritual that grants special powers if the oath taker abides by certain restrictions. The harsher the restrictions, the greater the power one may command. In a very real sense, an oath is a sort of
curse, right? Well, guess what? You're the ones who did this to me.
I am aware. That is why I chose you.
Gosh, really, like, there are not many games that I play where I'm like, wow, this looks smooth, it runs at 60. This game absolutely does. And if it doesn't run at 60, because who knows, maybe I'm wrong. At the very least, it absolutely does run smoothly.
Here. Let's go.
Like, all the movements and everything. Like, I'm just looking. Obviously, I don't think you guys can tell. Anyone watching can tell, because I capture at 30. Because if I try to capture at 60, my laptop will explode. And I'll drop frames. I don't want to drop frames. But it's fascinating looking at such a smooth game. Most of them don't really look like this. The last time I saw a game where I was like, whoa, was Persona 5 Strikers?
Are you sure? This way leads to the main entrance.
If they know you're here, they'll have found your ship by now. The guards expect us at the rear, not the front.
Just when I booted up the game and I got into the first menu, I was like, wow, this looks nice. I don't know, I don't remember if it really carried all that well throughout the game, but it looked nice.
We're almost there.
That's
Ah, yes, this man.
Oscar, I had no idea an Exorcist Praetor had been assigned to this island.
You surprise me, Ceres. Aiding criminals now, are you? Did Lord Artorius request this?
No, I'm acting on my own.
A Moloch with free will? And yet, I sense someone's strings guiding you.
Hold on. A Praetor is far more dangerous than an orderly.
I'm all out of subterfuge. And besides, if we can't overpower this one, our end goal was hopeless to begin with.
You're a demon, but still a lady, so I'll show you due respect. I am Oscar Dragonia, Praetor of the Abbey of the Holy Midgand Empire. Who might you be? Huh. All right. Graceless demon it is then.
And he's got some Molochs.
Lord Artorius himself taught me the ways of purification. How will you fare against them?
Ah, yes, purification. I had to deal with that dialogue a lot in Hysteria. Oh, he's got Severing Wind, huh? Your Malochs kind of suck, though, Oscar. I think between the main cast of 6, there's not a lot of familiar arts. I think most of the familiar long-time arts that I know are actually in possession of the bad guys. I could be wrong, though.
You're skilled. I will have to expend a Moloch or two for this.
What are you doing?
Control your feelings to control the tide of battle!
More of your vaunted reason.
No!
Just use one of your Molochs to hit your other Moloch, huh?
A Moloch with demon blight?
Turns into a dragon. That was something What's-His-Face taught us. Zesty. Ooh. Right in the face.
My wounds are fatal. Please, consume me.
I'm not about to.
My form is bound by an oath whose price is my life. The time has come to pay. Feeding on my form will grant you strength, the strength to press forward. I ask only that you devour me.
Why?
A flame burns in my heart too. A flame I cannot quench no matter how hard I try. Just like you, Velvet.
This was Laffy's.
That is why I cannot abide it. This frozen world, this frozen people, I'm just that stubborn of a woman. Hurry, before my life fades. Do it now.
I offer no apology or thanks.
I need neither. Our wishes are one and the same. I treasured those days when you and I and Arthur were together.
What is happening?
Move! If you don't, I'll eat you!
Got that good old sorcerer's ring.
She absorbed that Moloch's power to wield as her own? I've never seen such a demon.
Yeah, there we go. I remembered how to do it. Well, I mean, I remembered how to do it as in, this is the part of the game where I can do it now. You can absorb the power of a certain type of monster, and then use it to change your attack string. And it uses one of your 5 little crystals down there. I forget what those things are called. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, no tutorial came up, so this is gonna suck. I guess I can look them up later. Stupid dragon.
Apologies, but I can't let a nasty demon like you roam freely now, can I?
So much for being graceful or what the fuck ever.
Velvet. That's my name. You can give Artorias my regards. My name is Velvet Crow, and I will devour demon, Moloch, and exorcist alike. I am a monster! I am a Therian!
Oh! Finally someplace that might not be a death trap. When we tumbled from the tower, I thought, this is it, Magilu. This
Hello.
is the end!
It would have been less risky if you hadn't suddenly appeared and jumped on my back. Oh, hey, it's you. It's thanks to you that Stormhowl is back in my care. Rokurodan gets it. At your service. This blade is my life. I owe you a great debt, one I vow to repay.
Yes, yes, she's a peach and a model citizen. Can we get our move on? I think they're just about done massacring the rioters.
The docks are just ahead. Give me a hand.
Rokuro is so polite. I love it. Mega Sonic Thrust. Oh, there's one that I know. I mean, I know Sonic Thrust and Super Sonic Thrust. That one's like a twist, but I get it. So how are we supposed to pilot this ship with just the 3 of us? I think that's a question that I asked somewhere else. I don't remember what. It's like, what's the minimum amount of people you need to pilot a ship like this?
Guess the weather's feeling as crummy as I am.
Careful. Sea's looking mighty choppy.
Are you
No.
a sailor?
No, but I do know the difference between a sail and a rudder.
I'll take what I can get. Do what you can.
You're leaving without a proper crew?
Very well then. I certainly owe you this much at least.
What was Ceres's plan? I mean, maybe she knew how to...
But 10 minutes in this storm and you'll lose all sense of direction.
No, we won't. Ships have compasses for a reason.
So it's rot in a jail cell or rot in a fish tummy. Well, guess it's your lucky day, fishies!
I'm coming for you, Artorias.
Yeah, I left everyone with one fashion item on. For Velvet, it's the earring. For Rokuro, it's the horns. And for Magilu, it's the wings.